After reading the story and listening to the YouTube narration of The Boy and the Bayonet, we're going to look at some key terms and vocabulary from the story. Starting with the first one, a bayonet. What is that? That's on everybody's mind. Yes, Jakari?
A long knife attached to the end of a rifle.
A knife that you attach to the muzzle of the gun. And why do you think people prefer to use knives attached to the muzzles of their guns instead of just shooting ammunition from the gun? Yes, Braylon?
For
Close range attacks, guerrilla fighting techniques, close combat fighting. What else, Jakari?
And then not having enough ammo.
Exactly, not having enough resources because the story is based in the 1800s. There was not enough resources to go around in terms of producing
They would
ammunition.
use that to make sure that they're dead. They would stand the bodies to make sure they're dead.
Exactly, and you could reuse it because you could just, take it out and put it back.
But not
That's
really.
great. All right, let's move on. Next word is drill. This is a military practice or training exercise. Company, it's not a new word to us, but in this context, it's very new because we're using it to mean a group of soldiers who train and compete together. Determined just means someone who strongly wants to succeed in something and not giving up on that thing. To encourage means to give support or to encourage somebody or to have confidence in something or someone. In this case, little sister and the mother, what was her name again?
Hannah.
Hannah, yes. They encouraged their son, well, she encouraged her son, and little sister encouraged her brother to continue training. Next up, we have pride. This is a feeling that you get after an accomplishment, a feeling good about that certain accomplishment. And then anticipation is feeling excited or nervous about something that has not happened yet. All right? So, let's discuss some literary terms that we have already looked at, but we're going to be focusing on a little bit more when analyzing the elements of this story. First up, we have the setting, point of view, theme, evidence, and figurative language. We will not be looking at figurative language in this lesson because we've already done that last week. In simple terms, the setting of a story just equals to the place and the time. Now, the time can also include the mood, the environment, the place can include a location or a certain time period in history, all right? Now, in our story, The Boy and the Bayonet, who can tell us what the setting was, what the setting is? Yes, Victoria. Washington, yes, because they mentioned Washington in the very first paragraph of the story. What else? What else are we thinking? A time period, a mood, environment. What was the environment like? Yes.
I know the mood.
The mood. Tell us about it.
Like the mood of Bud.
It can be the mood of Bud, the mood of
Nervous.
the story altogether. Nervous. So the story is categorized by a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement, a lot of anxiety and nerves, because it's centered around the competition that Bud is taking part in, which is a drill exercise which was competitive. Next up, we have point of view. This just equals to who's telling the story. Is the main character narrating their own story, or is it being told from a third person point of view? So, after reading The Boy and the Bayonet, what do you think the story is being told in? Is it first person point of view, or is it third person point of view? Yes, sir.
Third person.
Third person. Why? Why do you say so?
Because they don't actually know how Bud feels. They just guessing how he feels.
But give me evidence from the text. How do we know? Yes, Mom.
Because there's evidence in the text that say, because third person usually uses words like he, his, she, her.
Exactly.
And first person uses I, and not once do they say I, but they say his,
Hey.
her, his.
Let's go ahead and transform.
and
Yay! Thank you, Mom. So, the story is being told in a third person point of view, and we know this because they keep using the pronouns he, she, they, and they refer to the characters by their names, such as Hannah or Bud's mom, little sister, Bud, whose real name is Tom Harris. So Thank you very much. I do have a question that I want you guys to think about that we will discuss at the end of the lesson. How do we know what Bud's feeling if he's not the narrator? He's not narrating his own story. So how do we know how he feels throughout the story? Hold on to that thought. We'll discuss that at the end of the lesson. Right, let's look at the theme. We in this classroom have discussed theme, mini themes, possible themes of a piece of literature so many times. So I know we have a good grasp on what the theme is. What I want to bring to your attention for this lesson specifically is a theme is never just one word or one phrase. So if I ask you what the theme is in The Boy and the Bayonet, the response should not be the theme is hard work, because what about hard work? Or the theme is training. What about training? Or the theme is never giving up. What about never giving up? What does it do? So the theme should always be a complete sentence. For example, hard work can lead to success. You know, that's a theme that was observed in this story, The Boy and the Bayonet. Next up, we have evidence, which is what Mark and Chakari just provided us with the previous question. They got us evidence from the text, which can include direct quotes, which can include specific details in the text, which can include character actions, any fact that you take from the text, which is not your own information, you put in between quotation marks, right? Also, anything that you say on the character's traits, you need to back it up with information from the story. That is evidence provided. Right, so quick practice for you guys. I want you to partner up with the person sitting next to you and quickly discuss questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is the setting of our story, which we already have discussed? What is the point of view that it is told in? State one possible theme. There are various themes that have been observed in the story, so just pick one and then give one example of evidence from the kitchen scene. All right, so quickly turn and talk to the person sitting next to you.